As the beginning of November is here, I wanted to share with you today how I am already getting started for that very busy holiday season. So, if you are stressed out about planning for the holidays, grab your planner or just a piece of paper and a pencil and join me, and we're going to get through this holiday season together. Well, hi everyone, this is Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And today I want to talk to you about the 4 months that I take to plan and spread out the activities that need to be done for the holiday season. All of that starts at the beginning of October. I include Halloween as one of the holidays, Thanksgiving as one of the holidays, and our family celebrates Christmas and New Year's. So 4 holidays, 4 months to get it all done. So today I want to talk to you about how I store all of this information in OneNote. Now, if you are new to my channel, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are someone who's been following me for a while, I want to say welcome back. I love to use OneNote for my life management tool. I use it for just about everything, and that includes my daily and weekly and monthly planner. Today, what I want to show you is just a little tiny section of all of that planning. We are going to focus on some things that I got started in October to get me through the holiday season. Okay? All right. Well, if that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and give me a like, hit that thumbs up button down below, subscribe if you have not already, and please feel free to share this content with anybody that you think would find it interesting. Okay? All right, well, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the computer. So you can see here on my screen, I have my OneNote notebooks are open, and I am currently open to my 2025 Life Planner that you see up here. You see all of my section tabs go across the top here, and I am currently working in the month of October because it is the end of October, and I always start planning for the holidays in the month of October, okay? Then over here on the side, you can see all of the pages that I have listed right over here. And the ones that have little Christmas trees in front of them, those are the holiday pages that I brought forward just so that I could start working on them, okay? Today, I want to focus on this holiday monthly overview, and it is really 4 months that I use. And this one is, I've changed the page name already to 2025 because I'm going to clean this up and, get it ready for 2025. But before I did that, I thought, you know what? People might really want to see what my real planner looked like last year as I was finished, okay? Well, let me show you. I went back to my 2024 notebook, which I have right here, and I went to my December section, and right here on that page is you see pretty much the same thing that you saw because I copied it, okay? So I have a page here, and I was able to fill in the calendars for 2024, and I was able to make notes on them and all of that kind of thing, okay? So all I did here is I right-clicked, and I said move or copy, and I made a copy of it and I took it to 2025. Okay, so now that I'm back in my 2025 planner, I know that my 2024 one is good and I can change this and not mess it up. But there's a few things I want to show you before I delete all of this stuff. Okay, all right, first of all, let me scroll in so that you can see. All right, and you see here, basically what I have done is I have made a table. I inserted a table that was 1, 2, 3, 4 columns across and 3 columns down, okay? The bottom column at the moment happens to be empty, okay? Then what I did is I went ahead and put small calendars, which I'll show you how to do that in just a minute, inside of the cells, one of the cells for each of the columns, okay? Then I was able to, using my iPad or the draw feature here, I was able to go up and I could take a highlighter and I could highlight specific things that I wanted to remember on this particular page, okay? So for example, my family likes to travel a lot, and we like to pick places that are along the East Coast mainly to travel to, okay? So if you look last year, we actually took a little trip down to Staunton, and you can see I have that marked here, Staunton, in red, and that's the weekend that we went and did that, okay? Then we went to Ocean City, and that's the time period that we did that, okay? So I was able to mark that out and color code, okay? Now you can see December got really crazy last year. So starting up here, I marked off the days that my daughter had off so that I could kind of keep track of that and plan, you know, activities around that. We went to visit some friends, that's listed here in red. And we also went to a concert while we were at their house. So I have that marked there as a concert, okay? Then my friend Linda came to visit me this week. So she was here all of this blue time, and we actually had a show, a theater show that we went to see. And so I had that marked off there so that I could make sure that that was, you know, all correct and lined up. Then we also planned a little trip to visit my sister, and we went to Wilmington. And so you see I have Wilmington listed there in orange, and then I have the days that my sister and brother-in-law would be with us, okay? So very kind of, you know, messy looking, but when you look at it in a 4-month period, it really helps you keep things organized. And I love that a lot, okay? All right, I think that worked out really well. And then in January, again, I just had my daughter's days off listed there, okay? All right, now that's all in the first row across on my table. The second row is where I break down all of the tasks that I want to get done for holiday preparation into, you know, things that should get done during that month. And so let's take a look at some of those, okay? So for October, so that's this first one here. For October, my list is kind of short. I want to declutter any living spaces, you know, as I'm putting my summer things away and starting to take out some of my fall things. It's a good time to go ahead and look through and say, do I really need this anymore? This coat closet's getting really crowded. Let's go through and weed out the things that are no longer fitting us or no longer serving us any purpose and get those out of the way, okay? Also, that is the time that I like to order my wreaths. Our church usually does a wreath sale, and so I like to put in my order for those. I have another thing listed here that you'll see that was crossed out from last year, planned handmade cards or gifts. I didn't end up doing handmade cards last year. So rather than take it off my list and have it be out of sight, out of mind, I simply highlighted the whole thing, right? And I went up to my home menu and I did the slash through. Okay, so slash through like that. And that means that may be something that I want to think about in the future. I just did not have time to do that last year, okay? The other thing was creating a Christmas card and ordering. That also got slashed through last year because what I decided to do last year is use the cards that I already had, okay? Again, trying to use it up, be thrifty, you know, not spend too much, all of those kinds of things. I'm trying to use what I already have. All right. Then I went ahead and scheduled any concerts and shows. And we talked about that when I said, you know, we went to a concert. We had a show that we wanted to see. Actually, when we went to Staunton, we also saw a show that while we were there. So it's nice to have that big 4-month overview so that you can plan those things and not get, you know, too much crammed into one weekend. Okay. Reviewing last year's calendar. Well, guess what I'm doing right now? I'm reviewing last year's calendar. So when I get my 2025 stuff put up there, I can already check that one off. Inventory festive clothing. Now, not so much in my home because we're all kind of adults now, but Still, if you have a special party that you're going to, or maybe you know that your crazy Christmas sweater, is too big for you or got a stain on it or is falling apart or something like that, now's a good time to make a list of things that you might need for the holidays regarding Christmas clothing, because all of those things are starting to come out, and if you wait too long, they'll be gone. That includes new pajamas if you're a family that likes to do new pajamas for Christmas. Okay? All right. Create a budget. That's always a good idea. And start making travel plans. If you're going to see family, you got to make sure that you can get the right either Airbnb or home rental or whatever it is that you're doing, hotel rental, camping site, that kind of thing. Start making those travel plans. And the last one that I have here is brainstorm gift ideas. Okay. Now that brings me to another page that I want to show you. I already did that one as well. I went ahead and set up my gift list for 2025. So let me jump to that page. All right, so here's my gift lists page, and I pretty much did the same thing. I give gifts to the same people pretty much every year. So I went in and copied last year's, took out all of the gifts that were given last year, and just kind of left myself this blank form to go ahead and start filling in, because I don't know about you, but I've already been purchasing a few Christmas gifts. So let's scroll in so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. One thing that I do want to mention is this pretty background that you see here, this red and green, black and white background that you see. That is a freebie graphic from DCP Digitals. I'll leave that linked in the description. And also these cute little stickers that you see. Naughty is the new nice. I think that's hysterical. I'm not mentioning that it's written over my name, but anyway. Those are also from DCP Digitals. I'll leave those linked below if you're interested in what she has, okay? All right, so here I have my 2025 gift list by person, and I have my husband listed there. I've already bought him a big bag of pistachios. Also, my family likes to do events for Christmas presents, or any kind of presents really. So we like to do events, getting together and doing fun things together. We also like to do consumables. So if you see some things on my list and you think that's kind of strange, well, it's because we like to give treats that we don't get, year round, but that would be special little treats that are consumables, and then not more stuff, for you to pick up and dust and worry about what to do with a few years later. Okay. All right, so for my husband, I've already gotten him a big bag of pistachios, like I was saying. And we've been using a lot of rope around this house with the tractor and the pool and various trees in the orchard and that kind of thing. So I found him this cool bundle of 50 foot of rope. It's kind of a gag gift, but that's okay. He'll enjoy it. He'll like it. All right. You see here in black, I also have some ideas for people. So the dash cam for his car, he's always thinking about that might be a good idea to get, okay? I don't know, I haven't really researched them. It was just a thought that I had, so I wrote it down there. Also for my daughter, there's something called Flux Games. I don't know, again, something to research, but I did already buy her a pair of lined leggings in black, because in playing with the cats and stuff, she has gotten holes in her current leggings, okay? All right, one more thing I want to show you on here is I do have a special tag that I created last year that's called Gift Wrapped, okay? So if I buy something for somebody, let's say I buy something else for Samantha. So I would come down here and I would hit the Enter key. You see it gives me a new Gift Wrapped tag there, and then I can put the next thing down that I got her. She's been wanting a new charger for her car. So I'm going to put down phone charger for car as an example. And you see when I do that, it lists it there, and then it gives me a little place to check it off when I have wrapped it. So if I click in that little box, that gives me a little check mark there, and I know that that has been wrapped and is stored away and waiting for Christmas, okay? All right, now I'm gonna get rid of that because I'll think that I bought it somewhere and lost it. All right. So then there's another thing that I want to show you on here. This is my sister, and you see I have, her name is a link. Well, my daughter's name's not a link. Why do I have a link for my sister? Well, I have other pages that I created years ago that are gift ideas for certain people, okay? So here is that page that I have created for my sister. It's a place for me to write down, you know, what size clothing they wear, what colors they like, what characters and movies they like, what kind of treats they like, what hobbies they have, any toys or games that they might want, what kind of books they like to read, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then there's a place over here where I can actually list what I gave her and on what particular occasion that I gave that to her, okay? And then what kind of celebration foods does she like? My sister is a huge ice cream fan, and so if you're going to take her out for a treat, ice cream is what she'd like to do, okay? So this page I keep, you see, in my personal notebook, and I can go back and add to it from time to time as I see fit or as I think of ideas or things for her. You know, you always have a conversation with somebody and then you walk away and you go, oh, I didn't know that their favorite scent was plumeria. So you can go back and write that down, and then you don't have to remember it, okay? All right, hitting my back key, I'm back here to my Christmas list. And you'll see on here I have godparents and grandparents and friends and neighbors and church friends and all of that. And I just have kind of grouped them together so that it's easier for me to see all in one place, my entire list, and who I'm getting what for. And the nice thing about it being in a table is, let's say I end up getting a bunch of things for Samantha because she wants a bunch of small things, okay? If I keep adding things, you see the rest of the list just gets moved down, okay? So it doesn't get all jumbled together. So I think that's really great, okay? And, you know, it's nice just to be able to see everything in one spot, okay? All right, so I think this is a really cool page. I like this page. Also over here on this page, I have ideas, and I keep a consumable gift list idea. Again, that's a link, so if I click on it, it will take me to this page, okay, which has all kinds of ideas for things that people might want, consumable food gifts, things for children, teens, young adults, family, close friends, parents, that kind of thing. I even have some ideas, you know, pictures that I got from Pinterest over here that I thought were really cute. So I have those stashed over here. And let's see, what is this? Oh, yes, yes, yes. This is one of my sister-in-laws loves to do the white elephant games, you know, where you take a present and you trade them and you go around, you know, and everybody steals a gift or takes a gift or, you know, whatever. She loves to do that game, and I think it's a lot of fun. And so this was kind of a list, a starter list for things that might work for that kind of game. You know, generic kinds of things that might be fun. Okay? All right. So I have that on here as well. So if I'm thinking of or stuck on an idea for somebody, this might be a good list to come back to and look at. Okay, and then I also have a list over here for my friends that I don't have a full-blown page for like I do my sister, but I do have their favorite colors listed. In case I want to make them a gift, I have their favorite colors listed there. Okay, I think I did this one year because I made little fabric boxes, you know, that they could, you know, use to put their remote in, or I actually filled it with little containers of chocolate-covered almonds, which were sea salt almonds. They were delicious. So I just put those in a little box, so if it's sitting on your desk, nobody thinks you're eating candy. All right, so I think that's pretty cool. All right, so back here to my brainstorming gift ideas. All right, then I move into November, December, and January, and so on. And I have lots and lots of lists. But you can see here from last year's list, another thing that I wanted to point out to you was here I said to set up a gift wrapping center, and I put in handwritten in my Apple Pencil that I used the red basket for that. Okay, so it's a kind of a two-tiered red basket, and it worked really nice to have the ribbon and the tape and the pens on the top, and then in the bottom I could keep the tissue paper and gift bags and that kind of thing. So that worked really well. So I wrote it down so that this year when I go to set up the gift wrapping station, which I'm about to do next week, then I'll know to get that red basket out and do that again. Okay. And when I said I wanted to write Christmas cards, that's something that I always do in November. And I usually take them with me when we're traveling for Thanksgiving. And I work on them. That's kind of my travel, either in the car or in the evening at the hotel that we're staying at. And then they are ready to go. Okay. All right. But to make a reminder to myself about what cards I sent last year I sent polar bear cards or kitten cards. I had two sets that I really, really loved. So I kind of alternated between, my friends that love cats, they all got kitten cards, and everybody else got polar bear cards. Okay. All right. So I think that's really cool. And then down here, when it said send invitations to events, that PTP, that was a play that we went to on the 13th. And there were a group of us that went, so I had to send invitations to that. And then I had to RSVP to events like the concert and the Christmas dinners that we were having with friends and family. Okay? All right. So this is a really great way for me to kind of keep things organized. And I'm going to do you a favor, and I'm going to kind of zoom out here. I just really want these lists in because you guys know those are calendars at the top. I just really want to kind of pause this right here. Actually, let me make it bigger for you. And to tell you that if you would like to screenshot this, I'll hold it still so that you can screenshot this. And, you can take my ideas that I have listed here for things to get done each month. You can add your own ideas, because everybody's holiday celebrations are different. So, but just gives you an idea of the way to, organize things and break them down. Okay? All right. Hope you got that screenshot. Now, what I did for 2025 is you can see that I started down here and I put these little tiny calendars. Okay. These little calendars are from Calendarpedia. I have done many videos where I've shown you detail how to do the Calendarpedia calendars, and I'll leave those linked up above. But really quickly, I'm going to go through it for those of you who may want to see it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go into Google. And we're going to type Calendarpedia. Calendarpedia is my favorite calendar online program. They have all kinds of printable calendars, and I'm looking for the 2026 ones because I already got 2025 up through December, but I need that January calendar. Okay, so here we are, Calendarpedia. Again, if you're not new around here, you've seen this lots and lots. Okay, and I want the monthly calendars down here, and I'm looking for January. Okay. And when I bring up January, you're going to see all kinds of monthly calendars. So, that look like all kinds of things like that. What I've been doing for these is I've been going all the way down here to the bottom where they have template 12, where they have the 3 months. So this would be December, January, February. Okay. I like to download them into Word. So let's do that. And you see up here, it's going to go up and it's going to download it. And when it's finished, I can open it by clicking this little box with the arrow. And that will bring up Word. Let's get it on the screen so that you can see it. Yeah, and we'll put OneNote next to it. Make this a little bit bigger so you can see all of the word happening there. Okay. Okay. Full screen is better for you guys to see. I take out Calendarpedia because I know where it's from. And then I want to get rid of these backgrounds down here. Okay. Like that. Okay. And then what I like to do is I also like to change my colors. So I kind of like, I like this print to be like this dark green. I think that's really pretty. And so I do that, and dark green for the Saturday. And then I don't like the brightness of the red, so I use this darker red for myself. So I'm going to change all of that. You can change these to whatever colors you would like. It does not have to be the colors that I am doing. You can do any of these. You can change custom. You can do more colors here and choose any color that you like. Okay. These are just colors that I know that work well with my planners. So that's what I'm going to do. And all of these holidays. Okay. Now, these calendars also are kind of wide, and I don't really need them that wide. So what I like to do is I like to go up here and I like to make them as narrow as the name of the day. Okay. So I want to keep the name of the day right, but I will make them as small as I possibly can, like that. And you'll see that because these calendars are tables, that the entire table changes. So I don't have to do each individual month. I can do all of them at one time. Last one, Friday, and Saturday. Okay? All right. Now, once I have this like this, all I need to do then is highlight the whole thing. Oh, wait, before I do that, I want to change this also to green. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this whole thing. Okay, and I'm going to Control C to copy. And over here in OneNote, you know, I have all my other little calendars here. And so I need to put this one right here in this last cell. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to say paste as a picture. Okay. So when I say paste as a picture, it comes in like that. And then I can make that picture smaller. So it's about the same size as the others. Okay. Like that. And then I am good to go. Okay, so that is how I can quickly get those little calendars there. And remember, they're there as a picture, as a graphic. So then I can go up here into my draw tool. I can choose a highlighter. I can change the color. Let's say I know that I am going to be out of town on New Year's Eve. I can highlight that. Okay, maybe that dark blue is not the best. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. So, you know, I can go ahead and start annotating these calendars just like I was doing up here. Okay. All right. So let's get this ready actually to use. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. I'm going to get rid of that. That's Thanksgiving weekend. But I did want to show you that, you know, I last year I left space underneath to write what we were doing. This year I left space on the side. So for example, if I know that I am traveling in the month of October, which I did, I marked that as orange. Okay. And then again, if I have a holiday, you know, coming up in November, and I want to say, okay, this is the Thanksgiving holiday for us right there. And then I can make a little line over here and go back. Okay, and so then I can list that there, Thanksgiving. Okay, all right, let's see. This font is probably a little too big. I struggle all the time with making sure that I have a font that's big enough for you guys to see, But I don't really need it that big. I can have it nice and small. Okay, and then I can take my highlight and I can put it right on top. I can make it bigger if I want. There we go. Now I know that this pink right here is the Thanksgiving weekend. Okay? All right, I think that's terrific. Now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to choose this whole container from last year. Click the whole thing and hit the delete button and it's gone. Then I can take my lasso tool and lasso all of this stuff, delete, and it's gone. Gone. And gone. Okay. Now I can come down here. One more eraser. There. Then I can come down here, choose my select tool. Actually, I could lasso this whole thing too if I wanted. That will pick up all of the ink and everything. Circle that whole page, that whole container that I made right there. And let's move that up into place. Just like that. Okay? It's that quick and easy. All right. Now, if I wanted to, and this is, I probably should do this, let's go back and choose the 2024 ones, and let's just grab the list, you know, of what I had done last year. So we'll copy that, and we'll take it back to 2025, and we can paste that in here, like so. Let's do that for the other page. So back. Copy, back, and paste. And let's go ahead and get January while we're there. Oops. January has a few items. That includes recording gifts and copy that. Recording gifts and putting decorations away and all of that kind of thing. So that goes right there. Okay. All right. And if your pages are getting too big and going off the side, you can always readjust all of your column widths. You can move your entire container over like that if you'd like, so you can get it to fit. Okay. Now I've got to uncheck all these things, but I did tell you that brainstorming gifts, I could go ahead and check. Inventory clothing, I've done that, so I can check that. Review last year's calendar, I did that as well. Okay, so all of these I'll go through and uncheck as I get started on what I need to do next. Okay. All right. In my next video, what I want to do is I want to show you how to take these monthly tasks and break them down into weekly tasks, okay? So that you can spread all of this thing. You know, it looks like, oh my gosh, I got 25 things to do. But if you break it down into small chunks, it's really not that bad. So look forward to next week's video. And until then, here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning. I use OneNote. Until next time, okay, bye.